What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Dolphin Chronicles, presented to you by Kendall Sports Network. I am Johnny Cruz. This, of course, is Alex. Alex, what's going on, bud? How you doing?
Hello. Merry Christmas, listeners. Merry Christmas, Johnny. I'm doing good, man. I'm hoping I had a few more days off, but the holidays are upon us and almost gone already. I'm just getting ready for New Year's, man, and getting ready for an exciting Week 18 slate of games.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was lucky enough to set up my PTO around the holidays, so I wound up having
Nicely
from
done.
Tuesday, Christmas Eve, and I go back to work on the 6th.
Nice.
So yeah, I got a little lucky there. My manager was cool too. Shout out to him for looking out for me too. So yeah, I got a nice little vacay going on here. But I'm already counting down the days, and it's like, damn it, it's burning. It's going by fast. It feels like it's going by fast.
I wish they did it like when we were in school. Like, bro, my kid has
we
off
just
to
get the whole 2 weeks. Just give it the whole 2 weeks, man.
20th.
Right?
Yeah, they need to implement that into the workforce.
Yeah, right. I'm with you on that. Another thing that's almost coming to an end, as the year comes to an end, is this 2024 NFL season. Of course, as you can see in the title, if you're new, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on your notifications to know whenever we're going live. Obviously, our third member, Byron, is not with us right now. He's behind the scenes, not feeling great, but he's still back there producing and doing his thing. So shout out to him. And yes, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you had a good time with your family. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoyed it, had a good time. But yeah, we're recapping Week 18. So this 2024 NFL season is almost over, bro. We have at least one game left. But with the results of everything that happened this past weekend, your Miami Dolphins, Alex, are still alive to make the 7th seed. Before we recap the game, just touch on that. Your thoughts about the fact of, would you have thought about this 2 weeks ago, that we might, go into the final Sunday against the Jets with a chance to go to the playoffs?
Yeah, man. I always thought we were still in it. I know our chances kept getting slimmer, after each loss, right? Certainly I was defeated and deflated after the Packers loss. And then, I really thought we could pull it off against Houston. Houston looks like they're stumbling into the postseason. And CJ Stroud is in a major funk. But yeah, a few weeks back, yes, I thought we still had a pulse. Certainly we've had some help along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, here we are at 8-8, 500, hoping the Chiefs can do us a solid. And win with their freaking
third stringers.
Their third stringers, Carson Wentz, who hasn't been relevant since his days in Philly. Right. So man, I'm just hoping for a little Christmas miracle, Johnny. That's all.
I'm with you on that one, man.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to freaking Drew Lock, who looked like a 1984 Dan Marino against the Colts.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I too want to shout out not only Drew Lock, but I want to shout out the New York Football Giants.
Yeah,
I know that a majority of their fan base is pissed off that they won that game and lost the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer of it's not where you pick, it's who you pick. I understand that they're in a position where they need a quarterback, but as you don't be surprised if they still wind up getting one anyway. But
at least needed a quarterback on Sunday,
right? At least for this Sunday, the Giants did us a solid. I've always got a soft spot in my heart for the Giants. Not only was born and raised up there, and I always hated the Jets, even when I wasn't a Miami Dolphin fan. So I always leaned towards the Giants. And then of course with the Super Bowls, Eli beating New England and Brady twice, including the perfect season. So thank you, New York Giants, for that. And then I even go back to the Giants beating the Buffalo Bills in 90 in that Super Bowl down here in Tampa, where Scott Norwood hit the field goal wide right, and the New York Football Giants beat the Buffalo Bills, who had just beaten our Miami Dolphins to get to the Super Bowl. So I was definitely cheering for the Giants, and they did me a solid then too by beating the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, I've always got love for the Giants, and they've always seemed to look out for the Dolphins. Hopefully, Kansas City can find a way. But yes, the Indianapolis Colts losing to the New York Football Giants puts us in a position where, of course, we have to win the game against the New York Jets. But now the only thing we need now is, like you mentioned, Kansas City beating Denver, or Denver somehow stumbling against this Kansas City team. But Denver looks good. But before we get further away from that, let's 20-6 was it, or 20-3? 20-3.
23.
Dolphins win a game in Cleveland on the road, not against a very good team, but a very good defense.
In some crappy weather.
In not the best weather.
And with a backup QB.
Yeah, and Huntley played probably his best professional game. I got the numbers right here.
By far, yeah. He was very few incompletions. What do you have? Like 2 incompletions.
Very, very, very efficient. 22 of 26, 225, 1 touchdown. He also carried the ball 7 times for 52 yards and a big touchdown. Tyreek 9 catches, 105 yards.
Look at that.
So you know what I'm saying, they played well. Tyler Huntley played well. On the other side, DTR. I'm glad he was in the game and not Jameis, to be completely honest. Our defense did some good things, but 20-3. What are your thoughts on the victory and Snoop, his success? We'll get into all the conversation that's going on about Tua for this upcoming game, but before that, what are your thoughts on Snoop's performance against the Cleveland Browns and the team's performance overall?
What I mean, if he's auditioning for the backup role next year, then what a heck of an audition that was. Clearly you can tell now that he's got some time in the system, even if it's just a few weeks, or half a season.
He definitely looked a lot more comfortable.
A lot more comfortable.
I mean, I'll get into you as far as the play calling and stuff like that, but he definitely felt more comfortable.
Way more comfortable with the motions. I mean, he was getting the ball out quick. And the timing was there. He was hitting different targets. The only one I guess that suffered and it cost me my damn fantasy matchup, my championship one, was H.N. H.N. was, which was interesting, right? Because he's been the focal point of our offense, and he didn't do a whole lot against Cleveland. But our defense came to play. We still struggled on third down. 2 of 11 on third down. Which is something that we're going to have to clean up, especially if we sneak into the postseason. You can't go 2 of 11 on third down against a playoff team. But yeah, Tyreek's game was impressive. Malik Washington did some damage. We saw River Craycraft, big third down catch. That may have been one of the 2 that we converted. And we didn't look back from there. I think after that conversion to River Craycraft, the offense was clicking. Malik had 4 catches for 41 yards.
Yeah, I really like him, man.
Yeah,
I really like his upside and his potential.
And I'll tell you,
he reminds me of a Jarvis Landry type, like his mentality, the way he runs with the ball after the ball. I mean, I don't know many receivers that could be as physical and as tough as maybe Debo. As Jarvis Landry was, but I like Malik a lot, man.
Yeah, man, he's definitely he's blossomed, man, I can't say enough about our defense, man. Calais continues to be a dog. Jordan Brooks, man, holy crap! He stuck out last game, but not that he hasn't stuck out in games prior, but my goodness, man, him, Dodson. Our defense came to play, given it was against a third-string QB, okay, and their two starting backs were hurt, but D'Onta Foreman is not a rookie nobody. D'Onta Foreman has had his good seasons in the league, so we just came to play, man, and we had a sense of urgency, and I like the result.
Yeah, it was about time, and it was definitely needed for this team to come out firing the way they did. You mentioned Malik with his 4 for 41. Janu, not a lot. He was in 3 for 26 and a big touchdown. Raheem Mostert with 2 runs. The one name that I don't see at all in the rushing is our boy Jalen Wright. Like we literally traded up in the draft, and I'm in Tampa. I'll get to that part anyway. We traded up. We traded a 3rd round in this coming draft in 2025 to move up in the 4th round last year to get this kid. I was excited about him. You know, track speed, but not as quick and as Devon Achane is. But he's a little bit bigger, stronger, running in the SEC, Tennessee. Like I was excited about this possible combo.
Yeah.
Do you like? Is it a matter of him just not knowing the playbook? Please, God Almighty, please tell me that he ain't like a lazy worker. It's a work ethic thing. Like, why is he seem to be in Mike McDaniel's doghouse? Do you have any idea, any clue what it could be?
Man, it's just look at the people in front of him. Like hell, we were having trouble getting Jeff Wilson touches, right? Jeff Wilson's supposed to be a physical downhill type back, right? It's just a matter of the depth chart. I'm sure the kid is good. I'm sure not knowing all the plays or not knowing the playbook like the veteran guys know it has something to do with it. I hope it's not a work ethic thing. I wouldn't think so. I think Josh Heupel over there. Josh Heupel's a guy over at Tennessee, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I think he has a great program over there, man. I don't think he would have hung around at Tennessee and been a star at Tennessee with a lack of work ethic. So I don't think it's that, man.
Okay. I don't think it's that either. I just don't understand it. And I hear your point about the depth chart, but I mean, I'm worried about running Devon Achane into the ground. He's a smaller type, but
he is.
You rather give Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert carries over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 10 carries right there that this kid could have got. And he's averaging like 5+ yards a carry. I'm just saying. It's not like we can't use another runner, and especially in short yardage, as opposed to tossing it to Jeff Wilson on 4th and inches.
Yeah, that was a questionable decision there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what worries me about this coach, man. And I've tried to support him, but he keeps on doing these things.
I think he's turned. I think he's turned a corner. There are some games where he just kind of, for whatever reason, doesn't want to stick to the run game or is reluctant to go to the run game.
Right.
But I feel like he's turned a little bit of a corner this season. As much as we like to rag on him for some of his clock, his clock management,
right.
His play calling, his 3rd and short, situational play calling, stuff like that. Man, you gotta give credit where credit is due. This team was 2-6.
Right. No, I hear you on that.
We like to give them a hard time about not beating the teams that are above 500. But you saw it last week in a game where the Colts had to have, and the Colts are not a bad football team. Okay, they're not, and they're not a bad defensive team, but they gave up 45 to the Giants, right? So any given, when was the last time the fucking Giants scored 45 points? Dude, it's been their first win at home, all right, against a team that had to have that game, right? So it goes to show you that any given Sunday, man, freaking Caleb Williams led Bears team can go out there and whoop your ass. Okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you. We talked about it all year. Good point.
So I'm the first to freaking jump up and criticize Mike McDaniel for doing some dumb shit. And reluctant to go to a stud back, because that's what Jalen Wright is. Whenever he's had the touches, he's produced, plays. Right? I don't want it to be like a Chris Brooks where he ends up in a freaking on a Packers team and he's contributing.
Bro, like shouldn't that? And that's the part that like is aggravating me. And on top of the fact, I'll get to that one. Stick a needle in that one, or a pin in that one. But my whole point with I live down here in Tampa. They got Bucky Irving, who's killing it. Like there was like 3 or 4 running backs that got taken right after we made that trade to move up. It's like they went on a spree of running backs.
Yeah.
But all those running backs are contributing to their teams. And our boy is hardly
Bucky
getting
Irving
carried.
is taking over the number 1
Yeah,
spot
he's
over
the
there in
number one.
Tampa
He's the
Bay.
number 1 back, and you see how big and physical he is, and they run outside, they run outside, they run inside. So he could have ran this offense, and imagine his big physicalness.
That's a better offensive line in Tampa Bay, Johnny.
Oh no, absolutely. You're right.
You know, they got better guard play. I think when you get better guards on our offensive line, I think you'll see more production and more usage from a Jalen Wright. I mean, we got a stable of backs. You know, obviously Wilson and Mostert later on in their careers. We don't know how much is left in the tank.
Right.
But you got Wright and you got HM, man. You gotta feel good about the future with those 2 guys, right? Because HM is going to be your thunder, and you know, Wright's going to be your lightning, or vice versa. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. All right, so 20-3, we beat Cleveland, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? We know the playoff scenarios are basically this. The Dolphins need to win. We need the Broncos to lose. We get the number 7 spot, and we get the, you know what I'm saying, the prize of going up to Buffalo to try to beat Buffalo in Buffalo for the playoff game, which, I mean, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's a lot of fans, why do we want to go over there just to get beat down? I mean, still, you never know. You know what I'm saying?
The last game that we played against Buffalo, it took a heroic Tyler Bass kick for them to beat us.
That's what I'm saying, though. And can we go up to Buffalo and get stomped out? Yeah, absolutely. It can happen. Can we go up to Buffalo and surprise them? I think that can happen too. Let's not act like this Buffalo. Josh Allen is on another level. I'm going to give him his props. He should be the MVP. Unless Joe Burrow finds a way to get Cincinnati into the playoffs, I think it should be Josh Allen. But that doesn't mean that we can't beat them on any given, Saturday or Sunday. But that, I mean, obviously Tua would have to be playing. So, we beat Cleveland. Ahead of us is the New York Jets in New York. Denver is hosting Kansas City. Kansas City has already clinched the number 1 seed, so they have nothing to play for. There's already there's already reports coming out that the second and third team are going to be playing.
You may have some guys playing.
Shout out to my son John here. He said he'd rather play Buffalo than Baltimore. I kind of agree with that. You know, say even though Buffalo and Josh Allen. Buffalo and Josh Allen has owned us.
Remember when we said that the last time that we'd rather play Baltimore, and then we got fucking boat raced.
Yeah.
That was when we were competing for the number 1 seed too. Remember?
Yeah.
And we got the dog shit beat out of us, dude. I think we're more familiar with the Buffalo team, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think I would rather play Buffalo.
I think I would too. I think I would rather play a Buffalo team.
Well, that's the shit though. So if we do, and I was explaining it to John. Let's say we do go to Buffalo. Buffalo.
It will be the 3rd time we've seen him this year.
Right. Yeah, okay? And it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
I'm with you. So like I was painting out the playoff scenario to John last night, so I'll let the people know here. All right. So again, if we win, Broncos lose, we get the number 7 seed. We go to Buffalo. So let me paint a picture from here. See if it makes you feel any better. What type of a storybook writing would this be if Tyler Huntley leads us against the Jets? We win. Tua comes back for the Buffalo game and balls out. We beat Buffalo. Then the next one is at Kansas City. He goes to Kansas City and completely pisses down his leg, and we get blown out in Kansas City. Does the fact that we won a playoff game and beat Buffalo and he played well make you feel good, or is it, damn, then the very next week you look like shit and you can't, you know what I'm saying? Because that's part of his issue is the inconsistency. So let's start with the first part.
No,
if he wins against Buffalo and then goes to Kansas City, plays a good game, but we lose, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you're going to feel good that he won a playoff game. So we'll feel a little better about it.
Yeah.
But does that like clean the slate? Like, does that give them like a clean slate to where, okay, everybody keeps their job because we actually won a playoff game?
I mean, I think everyone's keeping their job regardless. I mean, as far as front office.
I'm with you too. I think everybody, bro. I think everybody's keeping their job.
I think it would certainly be a win if we were to beat Buffalo at Buffalo. You know, our
Yeah,
division rival, our
yeah,
arch nemesis, right? Uh,
right.
in Buffalo, I think that would be great. You know, I think you could call that this season a success, considering how it started. If you win a playoff game in Buffalo, and let's get into the playoffs first, right?
Right, right. Now, like I said, I was just getting ahead of myself, and I was just telling John like last night, like what a perfect picture if Tua misses these games and
But the
everybody's
more,
talking shit about Tua. He comes back against Buffalo, beats Buffalo, goes to Kansas City, beats Kansas City, goes to Baltimore, beats Baltimore in Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like what a story. Like I told him, I was like, even then, like he could win these 4 road playoff games, get us to a Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and there would still be Dolphin fans that would be like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So they're always gonna move the goalposts on Tua. It's never gonna happen. Again, this is a pipe dream that I was just throwing up
yeah.
there for my son last night. So I don't see it
Hey,
happening. But on the opposite front, if Tyler does a good job against the Jets, we make it into the playoffs, and then Tua goes up to Buffalo and pisses down his leg. Like, I mean, we kind of have no choice but to be stuck with Tua and with Mike McDaniel. The Chris Greer thing, I think that's just a Stephen Ross thing. I don't think we're stuck with him. I think he's choosing to. But does that change your opinion or your thought process in either direction? If we go to Buffalo and win that game and Tua plays well, it's going to be great. What if Tua balls out but we still lose? Would that make you feel better about Tua, or does he have to win the game?
oh man,
Because I ain't gonna front, and I told John last night, like I'm done.
here
I'm done. I'm done with Tua. I like Tua and the whole shit, but I don't think as it is constructed right now with this coach, with this quarterback, with this general manager, I don't think we could win a championship.
I would agree. I would agree with you on that, Johnny. And one of this guy's a great a great follow on X, by the way. His name is Mike Ferguson. Okay. Big Fins fan, big Marlins fan too. He's a Magic fan. He's a Knowles fan. I think he went to school at FSU.
Nice.
But I think he said it best, man. I'm going to read his tweet verbatim. It says, I like Tua. He's easily the best quarterback Miami has had since Marino. But when you make 9 figures with a fragile body, have limited physical tools, and regularly struggle in or miss big games, there is a strong case to be made that it's time to change course.
Yeah. I mean that pretty much sums it up.
How eloquently can you put it? Right? I like the guy. Definitely, when he's on, right? But the fact still remains, this hip thing is concerning, bro. It's the same side, right? Or the same. Yeah, he's only got one hip, right? It's the hip that was surgically repaired.
Well, we have 2 hips, but you know what I'm saying? That's why they say that the hips don't lie. You know what I'm saying? The one hip will lie to you, but both the hips they don't lie. But no, yeah. So I mean, it's supposedly it's not in the same spot, but it's still just the whole thought process of it.
This was the same injury that took out Bo fucking Jackson, bro.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Advances in science, have made it possible for Tua to come back on the field.
Right.
But you still.
No, I'm with you, but you still can't take hits, right? And you still can't take hits the way he took that hit in Houston. But I mean that was well said on that tweet. That was perfect. We got our boy Mark up in here. I have no faith in this team to win a playoff game, especially on the road. Nothing will change unless there are changes made up top. I agree with you completely on that one. As long as Greer's employed, nothing will change in my eyes. Now, what about this scenario? Because Stephen Ross seems to have, and again, if you're new, hit the subscribe, smash the like, turn on notifications. This is what we do. We talk Dolphins football, all aspects. Yes, we recap that game against the Cleveland Browns, but we got other deeper shit that we want to talk about right now. I mean, I know Stephen Ross has this loyalty thing, so make Greer like the president of whatever, but have somebody else that comes in and like is in charge of player personnel, the GM, basically run the show. And what I was telling John is like, you hire him with the thought process of, look, you do whatever it is you feel you want to do as far as coach, blah blah, whatever. But I would like to give Tua the one. We got to pay him anyway. We can't get out of his contract without a stupid cap hit. So we can, if we pay him for 2025, we can get out after the 2025 season with not as bad of a hit. So, like, basically give the GM a mulligan for the first year. The first year you evaluate the head coach, the quarterback. If you don't feel moving forward that we can win with them, then you get a clean slate. You're not going to get fired after 1 year, and then you bring in your people and whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Because of the situation we're in, I mean, how many
decisions already that are being questioned, bro? Right? Tua's contract extension, even
all of them are. But I'm just saying, just in that scenario, one, do you think that there's a GM out there that would take that with those circumstances? I mean, I know people usually want to bring in their own, but even if you tell them, hey, if the first year doesn't go good, or even if the first year go good, but you come to me and you say, hey, look, I don't think we could win a Super Bowl with them, then whatever, we change it, we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think, is that a realistic thing for a GM to go for?
Yeah, but Greer has put himself in a pickle, right? Because if he says, hey, Tua is not the guy, then he's probably losing Tua and McDaniel. So now you got to search for a franchise QB and a coach.
Right. Well, I mean, Fado, we kind of got to do that. I mean, are you still 100% behind Tua? You think Tua could be the dude?
We don't have a choice right now.
I know we don't have a choice for next year, for this year coming up, 2025. But I'm just saying, going further, like from all reports and everything we're hearing, none of them going nowhere.
We need to start doing some research on what these next couple drafts are going to produce as far as quarterbacks.
No, I hear you on that one. All right, let me give you this scenario. Again, it's something I was talking to John about. Dolphin fans comment, whatever. All right, would you take the next 2 years or 3 years of Tua at his salary, or would you take 3 years for 120 for Sam Darnold?
Well, the way Sam Darnold
and bring in a coach that, I mean, because I know there's similarities to the system. They're all sort of from the same tree, but somebody from O'Connell, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, because you want to keep Sam Darnold. You want to make sure you keep Sam Darnold in that offense.
That's a great point. Darnold is still very young.
Right.
Darnold backed up Purdy in San Francisco. Remember?
Yep.
I think. Look at that! My podcast alarm is going off. I don't know why it's at 7:00, but clearly we're. Hold on, hold that thought.
Yeah, he's only 27, bro. So that's something that, again, people in the comments, if you want to discuss that one, would you take 3 years of Tua? If you're watching this after we've recorded, put it in the comment section. Would you take the next 3 years of Tua at his salary, or 3 years of Sam Darnold at a similar salary? If you can get Sam Darnold on a 3-year deal, which one would you take? Yeah, Sam is 27 years old, bro. So he's still young. Tua's what, 25, 26? So I mean, he's still young. So which one would you take? Would you take the next 3 years of Tua or the next 3 years of Sam Darnold?
Man, as it stands right now, I think I'm taking Darnold.
Yeah. And that's the scary part. Yeah, Tua is 26. So he's just 1 year younger. I like Sam Darnold. I always like Sam Darnold. I like his traits. I just think the Jets was a horrible situation. Yeah, he had the infamous I'm seeing ghosts, but he was still a young quarterback. I mean, it takes time. Look at what Baker's doing now.
That's a tough organization.
Right.
Look what it did to Zach Wilson. Look what it did to Aaron Rodgers. All right.
Look, Geno Smith went somewhere else and is having success.
Yeah, Baker was Baker went elsewhere and had some success too. Given he wasn't at the Jets, but he was also at another quarterback freaking great.
Yeah, he's in Cleveland, right.
Cleveland. Yeah,
right. Went to a couple different spots. Now he found himself a home in Tampa, and they love him down here, bro. I mean, I like Baker coming out too. I thought there was a chance he could fall to us. I had no idea Cleveland was going to take him number one.
Yeah, man. Another example. Jared Goff, man, got kicked out of LA after taking him to a Super Bowl. Okay.
Right. Right.
And then now he's balling in Detroit, man. It's just about being in the right system in the right spot. I think this is a right system for Tua, but you got to question his durability, man. Part of your ability is your availability,
Absolutely.
and you
Yeah.
got to question that right now. The
Right.
guy,
Well, see,
if
and
he
that's the
doesn't,
shit. Wow, that's the shit that gives me fear is that the man that picked him re-signed him, even with this injury history, re-signed him to a big deal this offseason. Like, I mean, there's got to be some consequences for your bad. I mean, and he's got, yes, he signed some good players. We have some good, he found Zach Sealer and all these other players, and
yeah,
yeah,
that
good
was
for
the best
him.
contract extension we've had
But
so far.
right, but he's missed on too many of those first and second round picks.
Look at Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt, he let Robert Hunt go.
Robert Hunt left.
Van Ginkel.
Raekwon Davis was a second round pick.
Van Ginkel, Kyle Van Noy, guys that
Jones
we had.
was point. Yeah, all those guys that we signed in free agency.
Hey, Brandon Jones, Deshaun Elliott.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Those
I
are guys
love
that were
Javon
performing here in
Holland right
Miami.
now. Javon Holland's been a good player, but he's been underwhelming, and I don't think we re-signed him. And you let Christian Wilkins go. So even the people that you are drafting, you're not re-signing them. So what does that say about you?
Igbenogany, I think, was a stretch in the draft out of Auburn. Cam Smith was another stretch.
Yeah.
But Noah Igbenogany is playing lights out now with who? The Commanders?
With Washington, yeah. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it just –
But
it's worrisome.
But he's with a Dan Quinn in Washington, right?
Right. So it's just like this is the guy that we're gonna have making these picks with this draft coming out. This is an important draft.
Storm of mistakes of things that could have been. Like, hey, it looks like we had the right people in place, but maybe just a year or two too soon, or a year or two. It's just
And we'll get deeper into this when we after next week. We'll see.
Not on this show. Let's wrap this one up.
Yeah. We're wrapping this one up now. But again, our Dolphins 20-3 over Cleveland. Now we got to go to New York to beat the Jets. We win that game, and Denver loses. We're in the playoffs with a number 7 seed going up to Buffalo. So
hey,
we'll see what happens.
Light your candles today. Make your little prayers.
The prayer circles and all that stuff. But the latest reports is that they don't know if Tua is going to play. If I had to put money on it, I'm going to say he's not going to play. So I think it is going to be the Snoop Huntley show.
It just depends on how that hip is healing up.
But, well, I mean, the fact that Mike McDaniel said today that if the doctor says that it's not safe for you to play, then you're not playing. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's scary. That's worrisome. That is something like that.
Another important detail to know, Johnny. Both games start at the exact same time. So
4:25, people. Just so you guys remember that, keep it in your head. So the last playoff spot in the AFC will come down to those 4:00 games. There's a couple things that need to happen on the NFC side. Minnesota and Detroit. That's awesome that it came down to that. Minnesota, Detroit is coming down to their final game for the winner not only wins the division but gets the number 1 seed. The loser with 14 wins will be the number 5 seed. That's wild. But that's the NFL. Another fun day. Saying yesterday, fun weekend. It was a little weird having football on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It seemed like every freaking day. That's a little weird, but it is what it is. We're at week 18. We got 1 week left before the playoffs. So let's hope that not only can we find a way to win, but Denver can find a way to lose, and then we'll talk about that. But hopefully Byron's feeling better for next week. Any last thing for the people before we get up out of here, Alex?
No, man. I hope 2025 brings everyone a lot of health, prosperity, a lot of good things, man. 2025 is going to be a wonderful year. We're excited for the network. I think we're going to do big things. I know we're going to do big things. We got some really invested folks in the network. So we're going to bring you a lot of fun stuff in 2025, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, besides the Dolphin Chronicles, you got Hurricane Warning, where all things Miami Hurricanes football. We got False 9, all things Inter Miami. And then, of course, this week in Miami, where Alex and Byron discuss all things South Florida sports.
We're going to be writing some articles as well, man.
We've all been sticking our pen in it to write some articles and stuff like that. So
a lot of movement.
The network is getting
Miami.
going. We got some other talent coming in. Be on the lookout for my own show where I'll talk not only South Florida sports, but I'll talk all sports. So definitely be on the lookout for that. A lot of things happening on the Kendall Sports Network. So again, if you're new, hit the smash the like button, turn on the notifications, and become a subscriber. Give us some support. We appreciate that. For all the guys in the comments, Byron, Johnny, Mark, you know what I'm saying? Yes, everybody have a safe and happy new year. If you're going out on New Year's, just stay wherever it is you're going. Don't drive around in toxic. It's crazy out there. I've driven, tractor trailers for the majority of my life. There's always crazy stuff that happens on New Year. So please be safe out there. For Alex, for Byron, for everybody from Kendall Sports Network, have a happy New Year. I am Johnny Cruz. We will see you next Monday night, 7:30, same time. Thank you. Have a great one. Be safe, people. Peace.